Detailed summary of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is the fourth book in J.K. Rowling's iconic series, marking a pivotal turning point in the narrative. It opens the door to a much darker, more complex and emotionally charged world than its predecessors. This year, Harry faces not only the usual school challenges and lessons, but also an unprecedented event, the Triwizard Tournament, an ancient and exceptionally dangerous competition between three of Europe's most prominent magical schools, promising not only thrilling adventures, but also fateful changes in the protagonist's life. The beginning of summer, premonitions, calm before the storm, and the Quidditch World Cup. The story begins with a gloomy summer that Harry, as always, is forced to spend at the home of his detestable relatives, the Dursleys. The alienation from the magical world, constant humiliation, and loneliness are intensified by strange, disturbing dreams that suggest Voldemort's return. These dreams, which are not mere nightmares but harbingers of future events, fill him with a sense of impending danger. Fortunately, he is rescued by the Weasley family, and Harry can enjoy the rest of his holidays at the cozy and somewhat chaotic burrow. There, he reunites with his best friends, Ron and Hermione, and feels a sense of relief, returning to a familiar, albeit magical life. Together with the Weasley family, Harry, Ron, and Hermione travel to the Quidditch World Cup, a grand sporting event that gathers tens of thousands of wizards from all over the world. It's a true magical celebration, where the air is filled with the anticipation of excitement. The tents, magically expanded inside, create entire villages, and the atmosphere is exceptionally joyful and festive. The match itself, between Ireland and Bulgaria, featuring the unparalleled seeker Victor Krum, transforms into a magical and athletic extravaganza, captivating spectators with impressive tricks and superb play. Harry fully immerses himself in this joyful atmosphere. However, this idyll is abruptly shattered. After the match, as most spectators are resting in their tents, the campsite is attacked by Death Eaters, Lord Voldemort's most loyal and brutal followers. They terrorize defenseless wizards, destroying tents, tormenting Muggle families, and spreading panic. The culmination of this horrific attack is the appearance in the night sky of the chilling Dark Mark, an image of a skull with a snake emerging from its mouth. This is Voldemort's personal symbol, which evokes genuine terror in all present, serving as an alarming and extremely vivid reminder of the growing threat from the Dark Lord, although he is still widely believed to be weak or even dead. Harry witnesses firsthand that the magical world is not as safe as he thought, and the shadows of the past, linked to Voldemort, have not yet dissipated. Moreover, this incident demonstrates that the Dark Lord's followers were not idle, waiting for his return. The start of the school year, the arrival of a new professor and harbingers of the Triwizard Tournament. Following this unsettling incident, which left a bitter taste and a sense of impending danger, Harry, Ron, and Hermione return to Hogwarts. The castle, as always, welcomes them with its cozy walls, but this year, a peculiar, tense atmosphere hangs in the air. Everyone anticipates the announcement that had already circulated at the Quidditch World Cup, the revival of the Triwizard Tournament. A new defense against the dark arts professor joins the faculty, Alastor Mad-Eye Moody. This legendary Auror, famous for his undefeated fight against Death Eaters and his extreme paranoia, he even eats only from his own flask and constantly watches every corner, immediately becomes the object of intense scrutiny. His magical eye, which rotates 360 degrees and sees through walls, his grim, scarred appearance, and his limp immediately evoke a mixture of respect, fear, and curiosity among the students. Moody has established himself as the Ministry of Magic's toughest and most effective Auror, and his arrival at Hogwarts is perceived by many as a sign that Dumbledore is preparing for something serious. Moody immediately proves to be an exceptionally competent, though quite eccentric, teacher. In his very first lesson, he shocks the students by meticulously demonstrating and explaining the consequences of using the unforgivable curses, the three most terrifying and cruel spells in the wizarding world, the use of which is punishable by life imprisonment in Azkaban. These are the Imperious Curse, complete subjugation of the victim's will, the Cruciatus Curse, causing excruciating pain, and the Avada Kedavra, instantaneous traceless killing curse. This demonstration causes shock and horror among all students, especially Harry, who feels echoes of his own traumas and an irrepressible aversion to these cruel charms. Moody explains that this is necessary for students to understand what they will face and how to defend themselves. His lessons, though harsh, are exceptionally effective, and Harry begins to feel a certain, though not fully conscious, trust in the eccentric professor who always seems to know more than he lets on. The Triwizard Tournament, an unexpected selection, and the Goblet of Fire's betrayal. The main event of the school year, which completely disrupts the normal academic rhythm and becomes the central nerve of the plot, is the official announcement of the revival of the Triwizard Tournament. This ancient competition, held only once every few centuries, was intended to foster friendship and cooperation between magical schools, but it was discontinued many years ago due to its extreme danger. Now, after lengthy debates between the ministries of magic of various countries, it has been decided to reinstate it. For participation in the tournament, delegations from 2 other prominent European magical schools arrive at Hogwarts, adding an international flair and prestige to the event. First to arrive is the Beauxbatons Academy of Magic, an elegant French school known for its graceful and refined female students. They are led by the magnificent and exceptionally tall headmistress, Madame Olympe Maxime, and among their students, the charming Fleur Delacour stands out, whose beauty, due to her part Vila heritage, captivates many male students. Following them, a delegation arrives from the Durmstrang Institute, a stern Scandinavian school rumored to specialize in the dark arts and train in combat spells. They are led by the gloomy and enigmatic headmaster Igor Karkaroff, a former Death Eater, and their most famous student is a world-renowned Quidditch star, the famous Seeker, Victor Krum, an idol for Harry and Ron. The participants of the tournament are chosen by the Goblet of Fire, a powerful and ancient magical artifact that acts as an impartial judge. It objectively assesses potential candidates and selects one most worthy champion from each school. For safety reasons, and to prevent children from participating in a deadly dangerous competition, the Ministry of Magic and Dumbledore establish an age limit of 17 years old. This disappoints Harry, Ron, and Hermione, as they are too young to throw their names into the goblet and have a chance at eternal glory. At the solemn ceremony, filled with tense anticipation, the Goblet of Fire chooses 3 champions. Victor Krum, Durmstrang, his selection is no surprise, as he has already proven his skill on the international stage. Fleur Delacour, Beauxbaton. Her beauty and grace are combined with considerable magical abilities. Cedric Diggory, Hogwarts, representing Hogwarts, a Hufflepuff student respected for his honesty, integrity, and strong magical skills. However, to the utter astonishment of everyone present, the Goblet of Fire ejects one more name: Harry Potter. This event shocks everyone to their core. Despite Harry not having thrown his name into the goblet and not having reached the required age, he is 3 years younger than the set limit, the tournament rules are unbendable. Once the Goblet of Fire has made its selection, withdrawal from participation is impossible. Harry is forced to become the 4th champion. This causes immense outrage among many students, especially among the Gryffindors, who believe Harry cheated the system or somehow manipulated it to gain more fame. Even Ron, Harry's best friend, feels betrayed and believes Harry did it on purpose, leading to a serious and painful quarrel between them. Harry feels alienated, lonely, and misunderstood, burdened by immense responsibility and general disapproval. He finds himself once again at the center of unwanted attention, which he finds so burdensome. The tournament tasks, competing with danger and unleashing potential. The Triwizard Tournament consists of 3 deadly, dangerous tasks that are not merely tests of magical prowess, but also demand incredible courage, cunning, ingenuity, and the ability to overcome fear from the champions. 1. First task, the Golden Egg and Dragons. The champion's task is to steal a golden egg from a massive, furious dragon guarding it. This task is a test of their bravery and their ability to handle extraordinary, threatening situations. For Harry, who has never faced dragons before and lacks sufficient combat experience, this becomes a true challenge. He, along with Hermione, seeks a way to obtain the egg, understanding that direct force against a dragon is futile. However, with a clever hint from Professor Moody, who advises him to use his strengths, which for Harry is flying on a broomstick, Harry devises a brilliant plan. He uses a summoning charm, Accio, to retrieve his broomstick, and, demonstrating his exceptional flying skills, masterfully outmaneuvers one of the most terrifying dragons, the Hungarian Horntail, successfully obtaining the egg. His performance impresses the judges and spectators, earning him high scores and widespread respect. After this task, Harry and Ron reconcile, as Ron realizes that Harry truly did not want to participate in the tournament and that his life is genuinely at risk. This event marks a significant milestone in their friendship. 2. Second task, the rescue of the prized possession. The golden egg, retrieved in the first task, contains a clue for the second. It must be listened to underwater, and it indicates the need to rescue something dear from the bottom of a lake teeming with merpeople, grindylows, and other aquatic creatures. The champions must retrieve their prized possessions, whom the merpeople are holding at the bottom of the Black Lake, a vast lake bordering the Hogwarts grounds. Harry, again with the help of Neville Longbottom, who is subtly prompted by Moody hinting at gillyweed, which allows breathing underwater, learns about the magical gillyweed, which grants him the ability to breathe underwater and move like a fish. Despite the cold and danger, he successfully reaches the location where the hostages are held. He rescues Ron, whom the merpeople are holding at the bottom of the lake, and, displaying his nobility, also rescues Fleur Delacour's sister, Gabrielle, even though Fleur herself was unable to reach her. This act earns Harry additional points for his altruism and bravery, as well as Fleur's gratitude. This task demonstrates not only his magical abilities and ingenuity, but also his high moral character. 3. Third task, the labyrinth. The final, decisive task is a vast, intricate labyrinth created on the Quidditch pitch. The labyrinth is filled with dangerous creatures, such as a sphinx, enchanted obstacles, wandering lights that disorient, and illusions designed to confuse and hinder the champions from reaching their goal. The objective is to reach the Triwizard Cup, located at the very center of the labyrinth. Harry and Cedric Diggory, navigating through numerous obstacles and overcoming complex challenges, reach the cup simultaneously. After a brief hesitation, displaying a spirit of sportsmanship, mutual respect, and nobility, as Cedric had helped Harry earlier, they decide to take the cup together to share the victory for Hogwarts. This decision, which seemed like an act of friendly sportsmanship, proves to be fatal and changes Harry's life forever. The rebirth of Voldemort, a horrifying climax, and prior incantado. As Harry and Cedric touch the cup, it turns out to be not merely a prize, but a portkey. This powerful magical object, enchanted to instantly transport them to a desolate, eerie graveyard in Little Hangleton, the place where Voldemort's ancestors are buried, and where, according to his plan, he was destined to be reborn. In the graveyard, they are met by Peter Pettigrew, also known as Wormtail, holding the pathetic, emaciated, distorted body of Lord Voldemort, the remnant of his essence that existed after his downfall. Wormtail, at his master's command, instantly kills Cedric Diggory with the terrible, deadly curse of Avada Kedavra. Cedric's death becomes the first true and personal tragedy for Harry, deeply wounding him and revealing the brutal reality of the world he lives in. Next, the horrifying ritual of Voldemort's rebirth takes place, one of the most chilling and significant events in the entire series, altering the course of the entire story. Wormtail uses Harry Potter's blood of the enemy, forcibly taken, which makes Voldemort not only powerful but also, as will be revealed later, grants him the fatal ability to touch Harry without feeling pain, an unusual consequence of Lily Potter's protective charm. Voldemort's father's bone of the father, unknowingly given, symbolizing his lineage and his complete rejection of his own father and Muggle heritage. His own hand, flesh of the servant, willingly given, emphasizing Peter Pettigrew's fanatical devotion to Voldemort. Through this horrific ritual, Voldemort is reborn in his full corporeal form, terrifying, grotesque, evil, and incredibly powerful, just as he was before his downfall. His return is accompanied by a moment of triumph. Reborn, he summons his Death Eaters, who emerge from the darkness of the graveyard, stepping out of the shadows. This is a shocking moment, as it shows that even after Voldemort's long absence, his loyal followers remained at large, awaiting his return, and many of them held high positions. Voldemort mocks Harry, tells his followers of his triumphant return and plans for revenge, and then challenges Harry to a duel, a defiant, cruel confrontation designed to demonstrate the Dark Lord's superiority and finally destroy the boy who lived. During the duel between Harry and Voldemort, an unusual and salvific phenomenon occurs, known as prior incantado, reverse spell. This happens because Harry's and Voldemort's wands share the same core feather. From the tale of Fawkes the Phoenix, Dumbledore's familiar, who gave Harry the wand that refused to work. When their spells collide, shadows of Voldemort's most recent victims begin to emerge from his wand, the shades of those he killed shortly before this. It's a horrifying yet liberating sight. The shadows of Cedric Diggory, Bertha Jorkins, a ministry official, Frank Bryce, the old gardener, and most importantly, Harry's parents, James and Lily Potter, appear. These shadows, despite their spectral nature, grant Harry crucial time to escape. His mother and father encourage him. Cedric asks Harry to return his body to his father. Harry, with his last strength, breaks free from the magical connection of the wands, grabs Cedric's body, and uses the portkey to return to Hogwarts, having escaped certain death but deeply traumatized by the ordeal. Aftermath and revelation, the shocking truth and the beginning of war preparations. Harry's return with Cedric's dead body causes panic and chaos on the Quidditch pitch, where an atmosphere of celebration had just reigned. All festivities instantly cease, and joy turns to horror. The seemingly concerned Professor Moody leads Harry to his office, but Dumbledore's vigilance, as well as Snape's and McGonagall's suspicions, lead to a terrible discovery. Thanks to their insights and the evidence they gather, the shocking truth is revealed. Professor Moody is actually Barty Crouch Jr., a fanatically loyal Death Eater who had been imprisoned in Azkaban but escaped with the help of his father, Barty Crouch Sr. He used Polyjuice Potion to impersonate the real Alastor Moody throughout the year, whom he had kept imprisoned in a trunk in his office. Barty Crouch Jr. was a key figure in Voldemort's plan. He was the one who threw Harry's name into the Goblet of Fire, enchanting it to select 4, not 3, champions. He systematically helped Harry during the tasks, giving him hints about the dragon, Gillyweed, and the path in the labyrinth to ensure his victory and his arrival at the cup. His goal was to turn the cup into a portkey that would transport Harry directly to Voldemort for the rebirth ritual. The revelation of his identity and the chilling plan becomes one of the most powerful plot twists, demonstrating how deeply Voldemort was able to infiltrate Harry's world, using those around him. Dumbledore, realizing the gravity of the situation, immediately gathers Snape and McGonagall in his office and officially announces Voldemort's return. He understands that the times of peace are over and the wizarding world stands on the brink of a new, bloody war. Dumbledore begins to act, sending messages to his old allies to assemble the Order of the Phoenix, a secret organization dedicated to fighting Voldemort, preparing for the inevitable struggle. Snape receives a special assignment, which remains a secret but visibly causes his reluctance. End of the school year. Sorrow, memories, and the foreboding of a great battle. At the end of the school year, Hogwarts is shrouded in deep sorrow over Cedric Diggory's death. This tragic event deeply affects all students and faculty, as Cedric was a beloved figure in the school. Dumbledore delivers a moving yet exceptionally resolute speech at the leaving feast. He openly speaks about Voldemort's return, not hiding the truth from the students, and calls upon everyone to unite in the face of this deadly threat. He emphasizes that now more than ever it is crucial to choose between what is right and what is easy, and that the difference between life and death, good and evil, can be fragile. He honors Cedric's memory as a person who was true, good, and brave, urging them to remember his sacrifice. Harry, Ron, and Hermione, having experienced such terrible and fateful events, realize that their childhood has definitively ended. They are no longer just students seeking adventures. They find themselves at the very heart of the struggle between good and evil, and they will have to face real dangers that threaten not only them but the entire magical world. Harry, feeling an immense burden and guilt for Cedric's death, decides to give his tournament winnings, 1,000 galleons, to Fred and George Weasley so they can open their joke shop. He considers the money cursed due to the circumstances under which he received it, and wants it to be used for something good that brings joy. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire concludes on a somber yet resolute note, leaving the reader with the understanding that exceptionally dangerous times await the wizarding world. Harry will never again be just an ordinary boy. He has become a key figure in the looming battle, and his destiny is now inextricably linked with Voldemort's. The doors to adulthood and a perilous life are open, and the subsequent books promise even more trials, battles, and revelations of secrets. The wizarding world has changed forever,